I would say it's a very experimental, avant-garde, East Berlin in the early 30s. I certainly wouldn't call it house music in a desperate attempt to get down with the kids.
I don't think 1930s East German is actually a genre of music.
I'm saying...
You give me a decade and a country.
Yeah, in fact, you've also given a country that didn't exist in the decade you've given.
Well spotted. Well spotted. But you noticed that Lee didn't spot it.
I think it has to be a lie.
What about you, though, David?
What I always think is it could be either.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because, of course, it sounds unlikely, but at the same time, that's exactly the kind of true thing they would pick. Yeah. If he just said, at Christmas, we would have mince pies.
Yeah.
Then you go, well, that sounds true. Yes, true. What a merry show that would be. But no, they've got to pick something that's either a lie or a true thing that might as well be a lie because it's so unlikely. And it's finding that distinction that apparently is the point of this section of my life.
Now, what was it like?
Costa Rica. Because it's not in Spain, there's lots of different insects and scorpions that we don't have in Europe that we've banished, and they've all gone to Costa Rica.
What insects do you remember?
Tarantulas.
They're not insects, they're arachnids. So...
All right, David. OK.
Well, let's be factually inaccurate, shall we? Because that never causes any problems as you enter the 9th hour of your flight. Spiders are not insects. Costa Rica is not in Spain.
OK,
this is why education is so important.
Sarah did go on holiday to Costa Rica because she thought it was in Spain.
That's disappointing for us at this stage, but the good news is a third of their team is an idiot.
There was a very loud noise.
Your neck breaking made a noise?
Yes. Why wouldn't a neck breaking make a lot of noise?
That's a good point. Wouldn't you scream anyway? I mean...
But the noise would precede the scream.
But on the way down, on the way to hitting your neck, presumably you'd be shouting out something like, ah!
No, because actually there's sometimes a delay before the pain actually arrives.
Yeah, but there still might be alarm as you see the chances of you saving yourself from a neck
he's in
break.
there, doesn't
It's like people in an aeroplane that's crashing, they're probably screaming, and you don't go, well, you're fine at the moment.
Yes.
How do you spell it?
G-A...
G, right, give me a minute.
R-G...
G-A-R-G...
A-L...
G-A-R-A-l.
G-A-R-G-A-L...
I've got G-A... What? Would you... Let me say it. I've got G-A-R,
OK.
and then... Right.
Oh, my God, it's like trying to get my dad to write an email.
Would you like to... You could imagine David is the tortoise, if you like.
OK.
He could just sit there and look at you.
Derek?
I'm the tortoise.
Yes, you can give...
He was a bit happier. It was his birthday. It's me.
Did you just say, it's me?
It's me.
Do you think he recognised you?
Happy birthday to you, Derek. Happy birthday to you. Come on, Derek. Yeah, it was a lot like that. It was a lot like that.
So have you forgot the words?
No, I feel like this substitute for Derek is really not appreciating what I'm doing, and I don't like
I take acting very seriously. And I'm immersing myself in the role of a 60-year-old tortoise. And I believe this is how the tortoise will have behaved.
But
You're telling me the tortoise was jumping up and wagging its tail. And I'm sorry, I think we've left bounds of credibility.
So when Andrew came, how did he know that that little bit of key had broken off in the lock? Did you tell him?
Well, yes.
Yeah, did you
I thought I'd give him a clue.
No.
So, I tell you what, I'll let you work this out for yourself. I'm not going to show the broken-off end of key. You try and get in.
How did he examine
Now you try and get in your own van. The whole thing to make Andrew seem like a failure. What are you? You can gain admittance nowhere.
How does he get him out of the van? Talk us through the process. I know he's a locksmith, but roughly what did he do?
I don't know.
Did
even
you watch?
roughly. No, I just stayed sitting on the bench by my front door.
You got a
looking
bench
at
by
my
your front door?
phone.
Bench by your front door.
Is that where you make people wait?
You don't have benches by the front door.
I've wasted this brilliant nugget just mentioning it in passing. This should have been on a card. I have a bench by my front door. Wow, a bench by your front door. A front door and a bench in the same universe next to each other.
I've never seen a bench by a front door.
This is annoying me because I've been to your house and there was definitely not a bench. Are you getting this bench out just for special people? The amount of times I've knocked on your door and you've gone, sit on the floor and wait.
You have been to my house and there was a bench by the front door. You just didn't notice
Well,
it.
I'll tell you, after I went, I left and there isn't one now.
Yeah. I can't believe that a team of people, one of whom does his own dentistry on the top of a kitchen island with a mirror attached to an Indian wind instrument, can't believe that someone would have a bench next to a door. I can't believe it.
What is your work surface made from?
Well, at home...
No, in your shed. What is your kitchen work surface made from in your kitchen?
It's a sort of... It's... I don't really know.
OK.
Why did you have a sledgehammer in the kitchen?
Well, it was... But the... I didn't.
Oh, so it's not true?
This didn't happen.
Oh, OK.
At all. Easy.
Wow, we broke in quickly tonight, didn't we?
This didn't happen at my house.
Where did it happen?
At my parents'
So
house.
why were you trying to describe your house when you were talking about the
Because
work
he kept
surface?
asking me about my own work surface. I'm just trying to be as helpful as possible.
OK, can you tell us the colour of the kitchen surface in your parents' house?
Brown.
Brown. Was it
Brown?
Is it a wood?
No,
Did it look like a tree but flat?
I don't know what it's made of, but it's...
Is it Formica?
Might be Formica.
Wooden Formica.
Formica.
Your parents have got wooden Formica tabletops. Why don't you use your television money and treat them, you
So there's a walnut in your parents' house.
Yeah, there
you,
is.
for whatever reason, maybe hunger, want to open it.
Yeah.
There's a sledgehammer.
Why is the sledgehammer in your mum and dad, apart from the fact that you knew you were coming round?
I had to go and find the sledgehammer.
Where was it
It
in
was
the
in the
end?
garage.
Right.
We couldn't find any nutcrackers.
Well, your parents...
Your
parents were witnessing this?
Yes, I wasn't on my own in my parents' house, smashing away at my hand like a maniac.
It seems to me that on the evolutionary scale between nutcracker and sledgehammer, there are some other things you might find lying about the house. I wouldn't...
man's shoe.
Well, and 3 shattered iPads later, I found the sledgehammer.
Who was there, by the way, in this? Who was witnessing this?
There were... my parents were there, my brother, his wife, my wife.
Peter Gabriel.
David's not going to get that joke. Do you want me to explain? Are you all right with that, David?
Sledgehammer.
Oh, sledgehammer! Oh, yeah. Very good.
Sorry, I'll rephrase that. Rob and David aren't going to get this joke.
I have no idea, but there wasn't anyone called Peter Gabriel.
OK, now, we know that this story ends with you in accident and emergency.
Yes.
How did that happen?
Well, I'd cracked a few nuts with this sledgehammer, and then maybe I got a bit cocky.
Oh.
And I left my thumb in the way.
Oh, no.
And it was carnage.
Sorry, there's a really... The thumb. Can we have a look? All right.
No.
When was this before we looked? This Christmas, just gone.
It was this Christmas, yes.
So they should look pretty bad, this thumb.
Well,
shouldn't
actually,
it?
It was-
there will
well,
be
it's-
some
What,
worry.
what happened? Was it...
You'll find there's absolutely no visible scar. And neither is there on that one.
What a credit to our National Health Service, ladies and gentlemen.
Everyone was absolutely marvellous.
It's weird.
One might almost say miraculous.
Did they say any bones were broken in your thumb?
They X-rayed it, and fortunately not. They said, in a few months, you won't be able to tell this has happened.
In essence,
Hey, they were right. No. They were spot on.
All right, what are you thinking, Lee? Has this been the truth, or has he made it up?
There's bits of it.
Well, the bits that are true are that he's got thumbs.
I believed everything until we looked at his thumbs.
There's nothing
And then I was like, that man not only has not hit himself in the thumb with a sledgehammer, but I don't think he's picked up anything in weeks.
The only thing that makes me doubt it, really, is the coincidence of the balls at the location and the balls in Ed's surname.
That's why you doubt it?
That's why I doubt
Really?
it. Yes, because that's what makes it something that someone would have invented and written on a card to be read out for a television programme.
You're the captain, but if your only quibble is the pun of balls and balls, then I think we should ignore that and move
I
forward.
think it may be too late to ignore it.
You know it's a ballad, don't you, Endless Love? It's a slow ballad.
You see, I don't know anything about music, as you know. I disapprove of it. But Endless Love I've heard of as a song, and I reckon if I heard it, I would recognise it. That hasn't happened yet.
The postcode you require is S for Sugar, W for Wilson, H, R for Robert, B for Bertie.
That's a lot nearer Wimbledon than I expected. SW.
Well, I wasn't always right.
David, why don't you make an inquiry?
OK. Hello.
Well, hang on, you've got to ring her first.
That's really good.
The sooner this is privatised, the better.
Hey there, hello, hi.
Oh, I wasn't expecting to speak to an American.
No, I know, it's exciting. I just came over here and I got myself a job. How can I help y'all?
Well, I would
How
like...
y'all doing there? You have a nice day? It's so hot here in London, I can't tell you. I'm sweating like a pig.
Well, hang on, it's not one of those lines, is it? Yeah, it's real hot here. I might just get out of these hot clothes. In which case, at the other end, you'd hear, really? Oh, gosh, well, I certainly wasn't expecting that. That's very disrespectful to your employers.
They were paying me, like, $4.60 an hour, I think.
Well, work more hours.
Work more hours, save up, you could go on a cruise.
We called the police, so the police woman came round to our house, and she did the same thing. She went up the stepladder, looked on top of the cabinet and said, I think it's a grenade, better call Sarge. He walks in, does the same thing, up the stepladder, looks and goes, OK, think it might be a grenade.
I'll have to call the inspector.
No.
Then, 7 hours later, the Prime Minister comes in.
That's a nice barge, I thought.
You really craned over to get a good view of the barge.
I did.
Taking your ice cream with you across the thick stone balustrade across the bridge. Right over. Come with me, ice cream. Maybe you'd like to see as well. Just vanilla. Let's have a look.
I didn't go the full, not 103, 90 degrees. I sort of did a 45. I sort of leaned over that. But as any man will tell you, or woman, you only have to lean, what? That much, and your ice cream can go.
OK, so Billy, can I move on to Billy? I think Jo has definitely done this with someone in her neighbourhood, but is it Billy?
Whereas...
I don't know if it's him.
Whereas Lee definitely hasn't dropped an ice cream on a barge. We know that.
That's an assumption.
No, and I'm very happy to spend up to 40 minutes of my life pointlessly discussing it.
And that was just the tip of the iceberg. Oh, but come on, cut me some slack.
No. I would say that anyone who can enjoy that joke about a lettuce would have to be a sociopath.
How many houses away do you live from him?
He's, I think, next door but 4.
Next door but 4. So let's say 5 houses away. Because that's a very weird way to describe. I've never heard anyone say he lives next door but 4. It just somehow doesn't work. Next door but 1 is the limit to how much you can use. You can't just keep adding numbers on.
Go for it. I'm going for it. I'm I'm going next door, but 40,000. That's where the Queen lives.
I just don't think David, even though he's a really nice man, I just don't think he'd have the patience.
I'll have to pull you up on that.
Because anyone else would just be like, why don't we just go down the pub, mate?
No, not David.
Not David, no.
David's never ended a sentence with mate.
Mate, OK, fine. Fair enough.
Except when playing chess.
Even for you, David, that was quite middle class.
Fair enough, you've won, mate.
Where were you going from and to?
I was going from a holiday home in the West Country, in Cornwall.
Your holiday home?
No, I temporarily had legal access to the holiday home. Quite a common... I don't know what the name of it in contract law would be, but it's like when you go on holiday to a holiday home, and it's not your holiday home, but you're allowed to be there for a bit if you give them money.
It's called a rental.
Rental.
And where did he find the egg?
He had it in the car.
He had an egg in the car?
Oh, that's weird.
I tell you what, he didn't just have one egg. He had, I think, I would estimate between 3 and 6.
Where did he keep these eggs?
Yeah.
In an egg box.
No, but where was the egg box? Was it in the boot?
No, I think it was in a bag in the boot.
A bag in the boot?
Boot, bag, egg box, eggshell, white yolk.
You've forgotten everything.
For a man like you, David, it seems socially awkward to be standing round the engine with a bit of tin foil and...
But isn't that more reason that it happened? Any normal people like us would just go, "You're all right, mate," and walk off. He stood out. Well, I suppose I'd better forget the train and just have an egg sandwich.
Forget the train. I'm waiting. I've got to wait there an hour. Yeah, I'm not trying to sort of forge a new life with Ian at Bodmin Parkway car park. Oh, we've got 4 eggs. That'll see us through the next day or 2.
Did you work in conjunction with a proper chef?
Of course, I was helped a little bit.
Who? By whom?
It's a friend of mine, works at the Chinese restaurant.
What's the name of this person?
You wouldn't know him.
Well, give it a try.
Steve. Steve Jenkins. I've been going into the Chinese restaurant a lot recently. And I've been really sort of learning about it and savouring the dishes. And I keep saying, "Steve, this is fantastic. What is this?" And then he says something in Chinese, which I don't understand. And then I said...
Steve Jenkins is Chinese.
He was adopted when he was a kid. Taken to China. But he was an English baby, yeah. This is a true story. They took Steve Jenkins. They adopted him.
Even though he was a baby, he was known as Steve.
Obviously not. Then he was called Baby Steve.
So this Chinese couple adopt baby Steve.
Stephen.
He's got his full name. He's called Steve Jenkins.
They don't change his name.
But they couldn't change his name, could they?
They continue to call him
Steve Jenkins. Well, he was clearly an English baby. They knew he was going to grow up looking Western.
Was he the only Steve Jenkins in his school?
David, what are you thinking? It was very entertaining, but was it... Well, I say very. Was it true?
No, it wasn't true.
Do you need a little time to discuss this with your team?
No, I know. Well, firstly, it wasn't true off the card to start with, because there's no way Lee would bring out that sort of book.
Why?
I've met him, it's evident.
But why?
He then went on to make it less
You don't know
plausible
everything about me, David.
that your collaborator in this book is a man called Steve Jenkins, who was adopted as a baby in this country, taken back to China.
Not for long.
No, for his whole childhood.
No, he said they came back to Britain.
Yeah, but when he was an adult.
Oh, when he's an adult?
Yeah, otherwise he'd have been able to speak English now, wouldn't he?
How did you write a book with a man that only spoke Cantonese?
Well, we had an interpreter. Chinese fella called Brian Smith.
I think you're incredible, man.
Incredible as in not credible.
Can you remember the name of any of the songs?
No, but
wow!
But wait. I could guess a lot of the songs because they weren't. I don't think she'd written the songs.
We were talking about it earlier. You
said
said your favourite was "I Dreamed a Dream."
Can you just give us a rendition of that? Can you hum that or sing that or something?
Can I hum "I Dreamed a Dream"?
I don't think you can because we'd have to pay then, so it'd be inappropriate. So
sorry,
you mustn't.
He's very experienced in TV.
That's
well,
annoying.
I'll tell you what, David. I will tell from the best, Tony Verrill.
Yeah.
David, I will tell you the names of
Yeah.
some of Susan's album releases, or escapes more than releases. And you tell me if any of them ring a bell, OK?
OK.
The Gift.
I don't know.
A Wonderful World.
I reckon that might have been on there.
No, this is the album title.
I'm with Eddie the Hat, who's a mate of mine.
Eddie the Hat.
Eddie the Hat.
Is that a nickname or is he a hat?
No, he's...
Have you befriended a hat?
He's, no, he's Eddie the Hat because he's a nickname we have because...
I don't care.
Weirdly...
What were the other two? Papillon, taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3.
The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
The Sound of the Music and Towering Inferno.
I've not seen The Sound of the Music. That sounds less positive about the music. The sound of the music is keeping everyone awake.
OK, so, David's team. Kerry, what are you thinking?
I think it's got to be a lie, hasn't it?
Richard has a very honest face, doesn't he?
You see, well, interesting about Richard, because that clothing he's wearing...
Yeah.
That only two sorts of people wear that. Vicars and confidence tricksters. We don't know which one he is yet.
You think there's a difference?
What are you thinking, Harry?
Satire.
Did you feel, as you were eating the soup, a bit of spinning coming on?
I did. I always do towards the end of a particularly...
Do you, after breakfast, do you spin with your cup of
Every
coffee?
opportunity to stop my hands feeling busy. It was something the therapist told me to do.
I think it's to keep your hands busy is the expression, not stop my hands feeling busy. Those are the words of a maniac.
It keeps my hands calm because I'm always wanting to do things with my hands. Like at the moment, I want to punch David in the face.
Well, I remember I walked to the back of the shop in the cowboy boots, restraining an urge to walk like John Wayne. And when I came back towards the shoe area, I noticed that my shoes weren't
I'm setting
there.
the scene before this. You're at home. You're thinking, it's about time I got myself some cowboy boots. I'm not willing to commit to a new pair in case I go off the idea.
Just on the very slightest off chance that they don't turn out to suit me and my personality.
Cowboy boots, I'll be honest with you, don't particularly appeal to me aesthetically.
Wow, that surprises
I don't think
me.
they go with what I like to call my style.
Right. Well, how would you describe that style, David?
I think my style is indescribable.
Oh, no, I could describe it.
I think it's best left undescribed.
OK.
I did notice the array of shoes, and I tend to take my shoes off at home and maybe wear slippers or socks. I don't want this to get too sexy. And so... I
need my inhaler.
So what I vaguely was on the lookout for was a pair of everyday, easy-to-put-on, non-lacing shoes that I could keep by the back door in case I needed to pop into the garden for some gardening.
But you said you'd taken some of your shoes to the charity shop.
I was wearing shoes.
What, you decided take them off in the shop and hand them to her?
When you go shoe shopping, do you go barefoot? Take you seriously.
No. When I take shoes...
Keep me waiting. When I need them.
Leather or suede?
Leather. And with a sort of bit of... I don't know the technical shoe terms, but sort of like a bit of crenellation sort of flapping on the back. I'm just going to have to use the terminology of the medieval castle. It's the only way I have of describing it. Anyway, they look like...
So you saw them? You saw them?
Yeah, I saw them.
OK.
So I thought, I'll try them on.
Yeah.
But they were slightly harder to get on than I imagined.
People in the shop, I imagine, were going, why is David Mitchell trying on cowboy boots?
The shop wasn't as packed as you're imagining. In fact, I thought myself to be the only customer there.
Right.
I was soon disabused of that notion.
Don't you rub a dirty rubber against a clean piece of paper and it sort of cleans itself?
No, what you're describing is the action of cleaning a rubber.
Rubber?
Yeah. That is how you clean a rubber.
See, but you weren't
That's
even
not
willing
the
to do
same as
that.
it cleans itself. That's like saying, why do you need to clean a car? You just wipe it all over and it cleans itself.
10 years.
What is your...
10 years of this kind of bullying.
It was something like he would organise your pencil case, but I can't remember.
Organise your... I'm picturing Eddie briefcase with a little suit and a briefcase. Hello, guys. How you doing? It's me again. It's Dennis. I'm here to clean your rubbers or organise your... And you're going like during the corner going, oh, hang on, girls, I was chatting you up, but I want to sort out my pencil case. Just tell me some more edits.
That's exactly where the economy's going, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nobody makes things anymore. We just provide pointless services. I'm a party planner. I'm a pencil case organiser. I shout on panel shows. We used to make steel.
It's an unsuitable costume for Halloween, isn't it? Yeah. I thought you dressed as witches and things
well,
on
it
Halloween.
used to be that way, but then the Americans made us do it where we dress as, like, Scooby-Doo.
We didn't used to have Halloween.
No, exactly. What we used to do is celebrate the burning of a Catholic.
Yes.
You'd already been going around the room saying red or white, red or white. And now it's your time to bring the champagne. What happens next?
What happened was we were at the party, we were having a jolly good time, and it came a moment when the champagne was poured. OK? As happens in those kind of parties.
Yeah.
Isn't that right, David?
I've had champagne in my life. Where did this tutoring take place?
Not in the snooker club, because obviously for security reasons.
OK, yeah, I'll ask that again. Where didn't it take place? And you can just say,
no comment, no
snooker
comment,
club,
no
bouncy
comment,
castle,
no
or whatever. Yeah.
I asked him what was his favourite food, and he said cheese sandwich.
That's the son of the Sultan of Brunei's favourite food is a cheese sandwich. Well, I suppose Billy probably tires of all the unicorn liver pate and...
When you say trapped in your sleeping bag, I'm picturing a sleeping bag as something you can just sort of... If it doesn't unzip, you just crawl out the big end at the end. The head end. What's it called? The hole?
The orifice.
The orifice.
I just call it the orifice of rest.
Yes. Is it truth or a lie?
Don't you do anything without I am in charge of this.
Press the button,
You do it, that's it, you don't win anything.
Jordan. Don't listen to him. Press the button. Is it truth or a lie?
Don't you dare. Lee, zip it.
All the way round or just halfway?
What are you saying, Lee?
It is...
Not yet.
No, he won't. He'll go berserk. His only role is to say when to press the button.
That's what I do. That's what I do.
I think it's true.
You think it's true?
I think it's true.
Then we go true.
You're going to say true. Jordan, was it the truth or was it a lie?
You can press it now.
No. You don't tell him when to press it.
No, it's all right. It's all right.
No, that's not how it works.
Rob, I wasn't telling him. Right.
You wait. I'm going back. I'm going to tell you again.
Oh, it's a lie, sorry.
And was it just you on your own?
No.
Please tell me it wasn't just you on your own.
No.
In a field with a horse taking a picture on a selfie stick.
Come on, make an effort. Look as if you're enjoying it. No. There were 3 other people there.
Was it for all 4 of you to be in the photograph with the horse?
No, we weren't trying to get the horse in the picture.
Oh, the horse wasn't part of the picture?
No, we'd asked the horse to take the picture.
How did the horse get involved in the story, then?
This might be a help. Look what I've got. This is one of these selfie sticks that are so popular. If I were to go and hand this to you, David, why don't you come out and imagine you're in the countryside and you could...
And Rob, with that face, you can play the horse.
It's not just the face that resembles...
My apologies.
I don't really want to touch it now.
All right, here we go. So I'm a horse. Here I am.
There we are, taking the... Ready to take the... We're all nicely in position here for the photo with the hill. Skittish horse. I'm trying to take the thing. I didn't...
Can I just check, Rob? Are you a meerkat trying to sell car insurance?
I'm a horse. I've reared up onto my hind legs.
It didn't rear up. It just sort of danced about a bit.
You worry about playing a repressed, middle-aged Englishman, and I I will worry about playing a horse.
OK. So we're ready, we're taking the picture. I can't get the button to work. Fiddle, 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 fiddle. I accidentally drop it, like that. Skittish horse. Canter off. Oh, no!
Oh, I can't hold it, I got hooves.
Yeah.
And then it was broken.
A bit more bent than that.
Yeah.
There we go. And then... Oh, dear.
Then did I get in the picture as well? And that was it.
What do we think? I mean...
It really reminded me why I don't go to the theatre. It's a very, very poor art form.
It is, isn't it? Yes.
It's reminding a lot of other people why they don't watch much television.
I saw a mouse where? There on the stair. Where on the stair? Right there. A little mouse with clogs on. Well, I declare, going clip, clippity-clop on the stair. Oh, yeah. This mouse, he got lonesome. He took him a wife. A windmill with mice in. It's hardly surprising. She sang every